Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advance. This is a game from round 4 of the Pro Chess League 2023 and this is a game played between Awonder Liang and Magnus Carlsen, and what a brilliant game it is. So without further ado, let's start with this game. Awonder starts with e4, Magnus goes for e6, d4, d5, we go into the French defense, and Awonder starts with knight to c3, we go into the normal variation of the French defense. Magnus goes for knight to f6, bishop to g5, and obviously you don't allow that e5 move. So Magnus trades, d captures, knight captures, and Magnus goes for knight bd7, and Awonder trades, knight captures, and Awonder just goes for knight to f3, Magnus goes c5, Awonder plays c3, Magnus goes for the very calm a6, Awonder goes for bishop to d3, and we see a trade in the center. C captures, knight captures, and Magnus goes for h6 in this position, pushing the bishop back. Bishop to h4, and Magnus goes for bishop to c. And we see castles by both players, castles, and Awonder goes for knight to b3, attacking that bishop. Magnus moves the bishop back, bishop to e7, queen to e2, queen to c7, and Awonder moves the bishop back with the tempo, bishop to g3, and Magnus doing the same. Magnus goes for bishop to d6, rook a d1, and Magnus trades. Rook captures, h captures, and Magnus executes the very nice e5. Awonder goes for rook f e1, attacking that e5 pawn, and Magnus defends with rook to e8. Awonder goes for knight to d2, remaneuvering the knight, trying to gain some initiative, but Magnus just goes for simply bishop to g4, attacking the queen and the rook, and the only way to defend is to weaken your king side, and Awonder goes for f3 in this position. Magnus moves the bishop back, bishop to e6, Awonder goes for knight to e4, and Magnus goes for queen to b6 check, king to h2, and Magnus in this position boldly snatches a pawn. Bishop captures on a2, and Awonder goes for b3, and Magnus captures. Bishop captures. Now you might think that this is actually a blunder because you can just pin the bishop with something like rook to b1. That's exactly what Awonder goes for. Awonder goes for rook to b1, pinning that bishop, and Magnus goes for e5. Now I think you all see the move. Awonder goes for knight captures on f6, g captures, and Awonder goes for queen to e4. And definitely this is all looking very scary for Magnus in this situation. But the best move in this position for Magnus is just the very calm a4. Yes, that's right, not doing anything on the queen side. Because after Awonder plays something like queen to h7 check, king to h8, and after something like bishop to c4, he just simply play queen to c7, and now we'll mostly see a trade. Bishop captures, pawn captures, rook captures, and black will be up a pawn, but with black's king side shattered like that, it will mostly be a draw. But Magnus instead goes for rook a8, and that will simply just not, as Awonder goes for queen to h7 check, and Magnus starts to run away with the king, king to f8, queen into h6, king to e7, and Awonder goes for the very nice rook captures on e5. You cannot capture because of this pin. Magnus goes for king to d7, bishop to b5 check, king to c7, and Awonder just trades. Rook captures, queen captures, and rook captures the check, king captures, and Awonder goes for queen to f8 check, Magnus goes for king to c7, and now what you have to find in this position is something like queen to e7 check, and once the black king moves back, you go for something like c4, and once the queen moves back, you play queen to a3, and after something like a4, you'll just simply trade. Queen captures, bishop captures, and rook captures, and once the bishop moves back, you get this resulting endgame, which will very much favor white, as there's no room for progress for black in this position. But Awonder instead goes for queen captures on f7 with the check, and that just gives Magnus a little bit of an advantage in this position, and that just gives him a little bit of hope to save the game. And Magnus just goes all out, and he plays all engine precise moves from here onwards. He goes for bishop captures on f7 and rook captures. Magnus immediately starts pushing with a4. Awonder plays rook to a5, Magnus goes for bishop to b3, g4, b6, to a7 check, king to c6, f4, and Magnus goes for the very nice b5. Awonder starts pushing his own pawn with g5, and Magnus captures, f captures, and king to b6, pushing the rook back, rook to a8, king to b7, rook to e8, and a3. Awonder pushes g6, Magnus goes for a2, rook to e1, and king to c6. If you look at the position now, you'll see that Awonder was winning a few moves ago, but now it's actually a drawn endgame. But trying to prove that it is a drawn endgame with the best endgame player in the world, definitely not an easy task. Awonder starts with g7, Magnus goes for bishop to g8, king to g3, and king to d5. And now you see that the king is coming very much closer and closer to his passed pawn. So try and find the best move for white in this position, which will ensure a draw, while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move, and the move is actually the very surprising king back to h2. Yes, that's right, you have to waste a tempo in this position, and even if white goes for something like king to c4, you just have this very nice defensive resource with rook to e8. And even if black promotes to a queen, you'll just simply capture the bishop. And with something like queen to e6, you'll just play rook to h8. And now black will have to settle for a draw in this position with queen to d6 check, king moves back, and queen to d1, and we'll mostly see this repetition of moves. But instead, Awonder goes for rook to a1, and Magnus just starts coming closer and closer to his pawns, and Magnus goes for king to e4. Awonder plays king to g4, king to d3, and Awonder goes for c4, but now it's a little bit too late, as Magnus goes for bishop captures, king to f5, and b4. And Awonder tries the very last trick. He goes for rook to c1 if Magnus is not careful in this position, and he goes for something like b3. It will be a losing game for Magnus with something like rook captures, king captures, and Awonder will promote to queen. But Magnus obviously will not fall for such tricks, as Magnus moves the bishop back, bishop to g8, Awonder goes for king to f6, Magnus goes for b3, rook to c8, but Magnus just calmly promotes to a queen, a1 queen, and it was on this move, on move 54, that Awonder Liang resigned the game. And what an insane victory for Magnus Carlsen. And definitely, from winning to draw to losing, this game is a clear example of the Magnus effect. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming up with another amazing game from the chess world, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you all.